All right, so here we go. Yes, today we've got some very big Diablo 4 beta news. The 6th class and potentially the 7th class have supposedly leaked with an idea of what to expect from their abilities. Plus, apparently we've never seen something pretty big related to one of the classes, and that waits for us in the full version of the game. And yes, there was an Endgame beta that also leaked. Talk about it. Plus, check this out right here. So yeah, I've been running the Diablo 4 beta on a beast of a machine from Zydex PC, and I can safely say this is the best gaming rig I have ever owned. It's quiet as a mouse, but has the power to run my favorite games like Diablo 4 and Hogwarts Legacy at Ultra, while simultaneously being able to jump into my video editing and thumbnail creation without missing a beat. Now that's what I'm talking about. And I've teamed up with Zydex PC, by the way, to give away 3 Steam gift cards valued at $20 each, so check out that giveaway in the description below. And Zydex PCs offers a wide variety of PC build options to match your budget and performance needs, so there's something here for everyone. Plus, you can customize your PC to look absolutely amazing. I was beyond impressed with how much they communicated with me through the entire build process, by the way, from beginning to end. The level of quality assurance here is fantastic, and it shows. My PC is able to keep up through long-term gaming sessions and demanding video editing. And oh, by the way, if you use my link in the description below, don't forget to use my discount code as well. Find out more about Zydex PCs by clicking that link in the description below, and remember to join the giveaway for a chance to win a Steam gift card valued at $20. Check it out. All right, so here we go. We got to start out first and foremost with that leak about the 6th class. It comes from Display, from this official image that was apparently released too soon. Check it out right here. Now, we have 5 of our classes that we know of on screen. Check this out. But apparently there's one in there has not been revealed or announced, and that is, of course, the Paladin, or some people are calling her the Holy Knight, as you can see at the top of the screen right here. So it is very, very likely that the Paladin will be our new 6th class post-launch, but we have even further evidence as to why this could actually be, because guess what? 4 years ago, there was a Diablo 4 leak right here, and it gave us a bunch of really cool details that actually coincide to what's going on right now. And guess what class was actually mentioned in here? And it gets even more interesting. It says this: the Paladin, Barbarian, Sorcerer, Amazon, and Druid are planned for launch, with more coming later. It makes you scratch your head because it doesn't match, of course, exactly with the 5 launch classes that we know of now officially. So my assumption is this: is that they pulled out the Amazon and the Paladin and then just replaced them with the other 2 classes that they wanted to go with at launch, that they felt were safer and maybe offered a more familiar experience for some ARPG fans. And then they're like, you know what, we're going to reserve the Paladin and the Amazon perhaps for post-launch content. So it could be possible that we also know of perhaps the 7th class that would be coming post-launch as well, known as the Amazon. Now, there's some theories as to what we could be getting from these classes based on what we know from previous Diablo games. So check this out right here. It goes on to say this: the Paladin is a warrior of light with balanced offense and defense. His equipment of choice in Diablo 2 was a sword and shield or 2-handed long sword. So I feel like there's a lot of potential with that type of play style to be very defensive and, of course, offensive. I imagine that this character would be more tanky for sure. Now, what about the Amazon? It goes on to say this: the Amazon is primarily a ranged class, uses of blows, javelins, and spears. She's known for her superior agility and evasion abilities, while also being able to use magic to power up her ranged attacks. And this sounds very different from the classes that we currently have. One of the biggest worries with adding in more classes is they start feeling very similar. I'm not seeing this from these 2 classes, which is good news. But let me know which one you would be mostly excited for, the Paladin or the Amazon. Sound off in the comments down below. Now, we got to also talk about that in-game beta test. Check it out right here. Here's the headline: in-game beta test for Diablo 4 has been leaked. Testers have already leaked information and hours of video footage online. And I guess they showcased like level 100 characters. But this is really important because it goes to show as to the extent that Blizzard is willing to go to really test out the longevity of their game. But there's some noteworthy stuff here. Check it out. It says, the email invite itself is confidential, but players have been sharing information about how they got into the closed beta. Most that were chosen to participate have extensive Diablo 2 Resurrected and Diablo 3 experience. Blizzard made it clear when the closed beta was announced that it would be prioritizing players who have put in a significant number of hours into the game. And to hear that, that is great news. They went straight for the veterans, for those that are intimately familiar with Diablo and its in-game, and to really get their feedback about Diablo 4's in-game, which is absolutely critical and kind of actually gives me a little bit of hope for what is coming for the full version of this game. I'm crossing my fingers that everything pans out good, but that right there to me, at the very least, is a very good sign. Now, we got to talk about what's going on with the open beta weekend. Of course, we're going to be playing as the Druid and the Necromancer, testing them out. But we also have a brand new interview with Blizzard and some never-before-seen secrets that await us in the full version of the game. Check it out right here. It says, Diablo 4 beta, what to expect from the Druid and Necromancer. So it goes on to say this right here. Ahead of their release, PC Games In spoke to Diablo 4's game director Joe Shelley and franchise VP Rod Ferguson about what to expect. So let's get into this interview, shall we? So Ferguson goes on to say this, the self-perceived necromane who just got a tattoo of the class during the Hell's Ink tour tells me that the coolest thing is the control of the Necromancer. The customization that the Necromancer has centers around the Book of the Dead. And so you get to configure your army the way you want. Yeah, I can't wait to play as the Necromancer. Right now, I'm pretty much torn as to what class I'm going with first when the open beta starts. Sound off as to what you have decided now. It says you can take all of that customization around what your army will look like, and you can actually sacrifice them to make you stronger. You can be like, actually, I don't want an army. I want to be a badass blood necromancer or bone necromancer, and I'm going to take the power of my sacrificed army and make me stronger. I really love that flexibility. It's my favorite class. Yeah, more and more he talks about Necro, the more I want to try this class badly. Furthermore, it says, while the Necromancer deals with the deceased, the Druid deals with all things living and breathing. Unfortunately, we won't get to see their homeland in the beta this weekend, but Shelley promises that the Druid is an awesome warrior whose animal menagerie is key to stopping Lilith. Yeah, so you'll be able to turn into a bunch of different creatures, but there's even more to this than we know of. So, get this. When it comes to the Druid, their specialization has a thematic element to it. The Druid gets to travel to Skoskland, the home of the Druids, and there are spirit animals that the Druid can commune with that reward them for bringing tokens back as favors. Now, the spirit animals offer customization in the form of different buffs that the Druid can get if they choose to be aligned with one of 4 different spirit animals. We have gotten to see like the werewolf and the bear, of course, gameplay of that, but apparently there's more. Furthermore, it says there's a heavy thematic component to it, and there's a mechanical differentiation as well, Ferguson notes. And it goes on to say, while you won't get to see Skoskland in this beta, there's some really cool changes to the Druid's signature shape-shifting that we've never seen before in previous iterations of Sanctuary. Now that has me very curious, and for basically all of the classes, we're getting to play them up to level 25, but apparently they evolve in many different ways at level 30, 40, 50, and beyond. That we are definitely not seeing everything in the beta, and I cannot wait to also mess around with the Barbarian and all the different mechanics after the beta. Now, furthermore, it goes on to say even more. This is what you get to see is that the shape-shifting mechanics aren't cumbersome, like, oh, I've got to be a bear to have bear attacks. Basically, for every skill you use, you transform into the animal that does it. So if you have a swipe that is a bear attack and a bite that is a wolf attack, you'll smoothly transition between the 2 forms. And then the itemization allows you to customize things. You could be a bear most of the time, except for maybe towns or horseback, but bears on horseback are awesome. You know what? They should patch it in where you can ride around as a bear on a horseback. Immediately 10 out of 10 from IGN if they were to do that. But anyway, yeah, let's keep going and talk about player feedback. Some absolutely noteworthy feedback here about some features that need to be added into the game. And I don't get why this is not already in the game. Check it out. It says Diablo 4 should have a lock option on items. And you know what? Again, this has to be in the game, so hopefully they patch it in the final version of the game, because you definitely don't want to accidentally essentially delete one of your more important items in the game. And guess what? It's time for your top comments. Remember, leave a comment down below. It could end up right here in a future video. So what's my most recent video about? A new warning, official beta patch, and updates. Do this now. So yeah, make sure you update your game, or I guess you would say the beta that you might currently have downloaded. And if you don't have it downloaded, you can go download the open beta right now. It is available to everyone to preload. Now, Joe Sim goes on to say the following: I want to see a deep dungeon like the Tristram Cathedral, where the dungeon could be like 20 floors deep and goes through different biomes, and you can unlock new entrances a la Diablo 1. Hell yes, that sounds absolutely amazing. They can do a lot with that. I think this would be cool as some sort of randomized dungeon. Imagine if each level was randomized and you had to go down a spiral into hell. Now, Zero Cool goes on to say this: I think they are confused by why we don't like the dungeons as much as they thought we would. New dungeons with the same mechanics is just the same thing with different art. And they claim, you know, that there's going to be different events that we have not seen at all in these dungeons. And yeah, that definitely does need to be the case. I totally agree with you. But also another concern is the redundant layouts. A lot of people are noticing the redundancy in the actual layouts themselves. So I don't know exactly what they could do about that. Hopefully they program this in a way where they can go in and actually modify that. But yeah, there it is. Thank you all so much for watching. Stay tuned for more Diablo 4 coverage and open world gaming goodness. Thank you all so much for the love and support lately on the videos. I have you guys covered. I'll keep you guys in the know. Thanks for watching, and I will see you all next time. Take care.